Hello, I hope you had a wonderful summer vacation. Today we will cover Windows 11. No, we will not cover Windows 11. This behind me is ZORIN OS Pro 16.3. As you can see, ZORIN OS Pro 16.3 is very similar to Windows 11. It is also very similar to Windows 7. It is similar to Mac OS because of its vast improvements in its custom layout. You can make it or customize it the way you like. So today we will cover this very wonderful distribution, from the installation to the application to the open source alternatives that are utilized here, so that you can switch to Linux directly from Windows without too much fuss or too much knowledge to have in order to switch to Linux. So first, let us start with the installation. So here, when you insert the ISO into the computer, you'll get this screen with the install instruction. You double click on the install ZORIN OS and you will get the language that you want. You put English and you press continue. You have a choice between the keyboard layout, English, you put English. There is the normal and the minimal installation. The normal installation will install a web browser, Office and games and media player. It is better to install this normal installation, or if you want, you can go with the minimal. The other thing is that you can install the download updates while installing ZORIN also, and install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware. These are also recommended to install. And the other one, don't participate. If you don't want to participate or you hate telemetry of any kind, you can leave it or you can keep it. It depends on you. Here we have the last thing is here, because I have already installed the ZORIN on the system, it gives me this option. But for everyone, you have to go with erase disk, erase everything on your hard disk, everything, and you install the ZORIN. So this is ZORIN OS 16.3 Pro. If you notice here, the very wonderful backgrounds, there are a lot of backgrounds we can choose from. For example, if I right click and go for change background, as you can see, there's a lot of backgrounds that you can pick whichever you like. This is for the background. If we notice at the desktop, there is the trash and home, and you notice the accent color is blue. You can change it to green, to red, to 5-6 colors you can change for this accent color. The main thing here that we need to talk about is the ZORIN taskbar. This is a very beautiful taskbar with very big customizations. One of the customizations is that we have this, of course, we have this start menu. We have these favorites. We have the activities pane where you can click it. You can search for any application that you want. Let's say Firefox. You can get it directly. And also there is Firefox, there is the File Explorer and the Software Center. These are called favorites in this ZORIN taskbar. If I right click the ZORIN taskbar, we have the taskbar settings, we have the unlock taskbar. If we look at the taskbar settings, we can change the panel size. The panel IntelliHide, we can enable it, for example, and when you enable it, if you notice here, it becomes here a rounded one. And what this panel will be, it's very intelligent. If you don't need it, it will go away directly if you go after it, or if you go full screen on your Firefox or any other application. Of course, there's some settings you can choose. You can play with it and have fun with this panel auto hide. Let me remove it so that we can go to the default one. And the position, there is these positions that can be changed from here to here to here to all of these. Or if you want, you can go for the layouts, which changes everything instead of looking at this one. But at least you have the customization that you need. The behavior also, we have show favorite applications which are available, and there's also show favorite on the panels. Looking at the action, we have the click action. If you click an action here on the icons, what will it do? It will cycle windows and minimize. That's the default. I'll keep it. Scroll action, it's the same thing. As for the hotkeys, I'll show you what it means. We have enable super 09 as shortcut to activate apps, and we have here in the settings. What this means, and here we have both, what this means is if I press super Q, let me show you. If I press super Q, if you notice here we have 1 2 3 4, or let me super Q 1 2 3 4. This means this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So if I press super 1, for example, it will go for Firefox. Super 2, it opened the file browser. So that's how they work. They work the same as you do with the Windows. Windows also, if you have a taskbar inside, super 1, super 2, super 3, super 4 is the same thing. So that's for the Zorin taskbar. One thing before we go for the Zorin taskbar is if I want to have any application from here, for example, let's say I have the games. If I want mine, let's say, to be favorites, I right click. There is add to favorites, it will be here, or you can add it to desktop, same as in Windows. We can also new window, and we can play it directly if we want. This is very simple. And looking also on the desktop, you can also right click. You have some options that you can do. You can create a folder, you have a new document, there is the display setting and the settings. So what we have now is we finished the taskbar settings and the unlock taskbar. If you want to play with the items, you can interchange them, etc. We look at the very nice Zorin appearance, which is the flagship of this distribution. It has everything from layout to theme to interface to desktop to fonts. For the layout, the thing that shines about it is that this theme, which is the default one, also in the LITE edition, the free LITE edition, is very beautiful, as you notice. There is also the thing that is good is that I like is the one that is very close to the Mac OS. You can get this Mac OS feel, and here you have also the information that you can take. Let's say the download, the documents, it's available here. So notice how we change the Zorin taskbar to here and how we make this also to be more Mac-like. The other one that you saw in the beginning of the video is the Mac OS with this Zorin menu, which with this icon also, which I changed. It's very simple to change, and also I changed the background. So these two are very nice, but let us stay with the default one for now. Looking at the theme, if you notice, we have the blue, green, orange, red, and we have here the blue. You can change it directly to green. If you notice, it's changed to green. It will change also for the file explorer as well. The background, there is the light theme and there is the black theme, and also you can schedule when you would like to have it light or dark. I like the dark one, but for Liberoffice it's better to have the light one. So if you are using Liberoffice, make sure to be always on the light theme. The others, there's nothing about the others for the appearance. If you want to change the theming, you can change it from here, but I don't prefer it like this, so let us stick to the defaults. For the interface, we have the ones here on the right. You can put them on the left. The buttons, enable animation, yes. Jelly mode, if you like to have some animation for the windows, I will put it off. Left super key for the activities. Instead of clicking this one, you can directly put the super key. Let me escape it. Let me go back. Left super key, we have the activities overview. You can change it. If you want to press the super key to have the menu, for example, you can get it. So this is by default. Also, you can have activities overview hot corner if you want to activate it or not. For the desktop, we know that we have trash and home. You can remove the trash if you want, or you can remove the home. And there's the extra that you can put. I put the icon size as large so that you can see it better. and I put here icons on desktop. You can also remove it if you don't like it. The same with fonts. I increased the fonts to 13 so that will have better for the eyes, but the default ones I think is 10 10 10 10. Also we have interregular, and we have JetBrains mono for the mono space. That's very nice Zorin experience or Zorin appearance. Very nice, very straightforward. The layout, they remind me for Ubuntu Mate. Ubuntu Mate has the same one as this one. You can check it out, but of course Zorin appearance or the Zorin layout are more modern and more pleasant to the eye than the Ubuntu Mate. But Ubuntu Mate is free, so you choose which one you like. I don't think Ubuntu Mate has Windows 11, by the way. Anyway, that's it for the Zorin appearance. The next thing we'll talk about is the start menu with all the applications. We'll go fast about them with all the information about each and every one. For the accessories, we have Barrier. 99.9% don't use it. It's a keyboard and mouse sharing solution. If you want to share your keyboard or mouse on 3-4 computers connected to a network, you can do it. So they added it. I don't know why. There is break timer. If you want to take a break every, let's say every 30 minutes, you can put this one and it will tell you after 30 minutes, it will nag on your screen for the break. It's good also for productivity, and if you are not willing to spend time to take break from your computer or your eyes, this is good for you. There's clocks. This is the file explorer. Fragments for torrents. Maps if you need to check for maps. Secret for password manager. Text editor is gedit. It's a good text editor, and I think it is still also gedit 3.36. it is based on GNOME 3. The latest now is 46, so you notice how much it is behind, but of course it is stable, and there is not much improvement functionality wise to gedit, so it's not bad. And we have the to do, and we have the weather. Looking at the games, we have the most popular Solitaire and Mines game. Of course, it's not the Solitaire that you will find in Windows. The one in Windows is better with the animation, but this one is a good clone so that you can play with it if you want. And there is the Mines and Sudoku. I like Sudoku and I played with it. It's very nice to have also on this software. Looking at the graphics, they included everything open source that is involved in the graphics. They put Blender if you want to have animation, color picker for colors, Darktable also for if you want to get images from your camera and you want to have them. FreeCAD and LiberCAD is replacement for AutoCAD. I don't think it's a replacement for AutoCAD. I don't know why they included them. They are very difficult to work with, but it is an alternative to AutoCAD, so you can have it if you want to draw a simple drawing. These two are included. Of course, there is GIMP, the alternative for Photoshop if you needed GIMP. Inkscape, alternative for Illustrator, also very nice to have. LibreOffice Draw also for drawing charts and logos. There is OpenToons and Krita for animation, photos. If you notice, everything is included, every open source is included, so that any new beginner in Linux will not feel afraid or check if an application is not present. Looking at the internet, of course, they have the RSS feeds application, they have Firefox, and there is one for Remina, which is to connect to desktops, remote desktops. Of course, there is the email, but it's not included in the internet. It is included here. It is Evolution. I prefer Thunderbird now because it has a better UI. So I think it's better they changed from Evolution to Thunderbird. There is the Foliate for ebooks, Homebank, and there is the famous LibreOffice Calc or LibreOffice. I like LibreOffice. I'm playing around with it for some time. We'll have a lot of videos on LibreOffice in the future. If you notice here, we have the almost new version. This is 7.5.5. The latest one is 7.6.1 at the moment. So they have almost the latest one, which is good for Liberoffice. And if you notice here, the LITE version is very nice to the eyes. Let me show you the black one, the dark one, and give you the difference. If you notice now the settings, the selection, it will not be apparent. Apparently in 7.6 they improved the dark mode, but still I prefer the light one for that. Anyway, let's close it and we'll continue. The other thing is there's the Minder app and the Journal app, which are also very nice to have. Sounds, there's a lot of applications for sounds and video editing, and there's Kazam and Kdenlive for video editing. There is Cheese, there is Audacity for recording volume, Ardor for recording and mixing. Sound Recorder also, we have for each application we have around 2 or 3 applications around that. There is the videos and there's also VLC. Notice how many we have choices. We have also OBS Studio and we have Kazam, and also Cheese. You can also use it to record videos. So there is a lot of alternatives. If you don't want, you can remove them. I'll show you in the software center afterwards. For the system tools, we have all the information here. We have the software. We have the software updater. I like to put it here in the favorites, so I'll right click, add to favorites. This is very nice to have on the favorites. There is the tour. It will explain some of the things that we are explaining right now. And there is the upgrade. This is the new tool for ZORIN 16.3 Pro. This one, if you are, let's say, in 15 or 16.1 and you want to upgrade, you use this tool. It will tell you if there is some upgrades or anything that you need to do directly without any problem. As you notice, you are using ZORIN OS 16.3, no upgrades available, and we don't have a problem. Check for software updates if there is some software you need to update. So directly you have it here, so that if you want to update anything directly on the fly. The other thing is VirtualBox and Windows App Support. These two, you can use them for any Windows application you want to install. This one is Windows App Support. If you have an exe file or a legacy application that you want to install Windows on, you can use this one. VirtualBox, if you want to install in a full operating system like Windows 10 and use the programs in Windows 10, but this one is intensive. It needs intensive RAM and intensive CPU, or more 2 or 3 CPUs to work. That's why you have the 2 options. The other thing is ZORIN Appearance, and we have ZORIN Connect. ZORIN Connect, if you have an app to install on your phone, and you can also have it here so that you can switch some information between your phone and your system. Very handy. Also only available in ZORIN OS Pro. It's not available in ZORIN OS Lite. Looking at the settings, we have the background we spoke about. These are the backgrounds that I got, one for Windows, one for Mac, so that I can use them. There is the notification, there is the mousepad, keyboard shortcuts, printers, region and language, the same as you see in Windows, so you'll feel at home. Also for accessibility, I use the cursor size. I increase the cursor size here, and I increase the text bigger so that you can see everything on the screen without any problem, or maybe you can see them on your phone. That's it for the setting. Let us look for the software center. So the software center, of course, it has around 50,000 software that you can install. You can search for them. If you want to remove any software that you installed, let's say if you want to remove Blender, you don't use Blender, this is around 1.2 gigabyte. You press directly the remove and it will remove it for you. Any software that is installed and you don't like, or you see it is redundant, you can directly remove from here. Look how many applications we have. Very, very nice. One thing to note about the applications, and this will turn off any experienced Linux users, is that the software is sometimes a little bit outdated or very old. Not very old, but it is old. For example, let's say I want to search for an application. This is the same as Kdenlive. It's a video editor which I use. If you look at the shortcut, we have two places where we can get them. We can get them from FlatHub, and we can get them from ZORIN OS package. This ZORIN OS package is the Ubuntu package for this distribution. It is sometimes outdated, and the FlatHub gives you the recent one. So if you want to install, you have to install the recent one. But we have to make sure. If you notice here, it is 29/7/2023. It is the latest one. But I think for this one, you need Qt6, and it will have some problem with the packaging with the system, or will have some problems with the system. I think because I tried it as an app image, it didn't work. I don't know if it will also have a problem with the Flatpak. I don't know. But you have to be careful. Sometimes these Flatpaks, they don't work correctly on this system. And if we look at the ZORIN OS, we come here. It is from 17 February 2020. So this software is around 3.5 years old. So that's the problem with ZORIN. You'll have some old software, although stable, but they are old. Some experienced Linux users, they don't like that. But for beginners, you can install all of them. There's no problem. You are only using them to test Linux and to test the environment and open source and see which one is better for you later on. As you can see, ZORIN OS Pro is a wonderful distribution. The main drawback may be the price of $39. But you can see that the price is going directly to the development, which is very good. And there is another factor, which is time. Time is more valuable than money. What you are gaining is you are gaining time to understand Linux and all the intricacies of Linux with a small amount of time, and that makes a lot of difference. That's it for now, and we'll be back with another video.